to embrace it. I play with a team and decided to put on the back of my jersey, screw, something cool or, something hip. Like my friend's name is Goku, another teammate's name is Ripper, and I'm like, my name's gonna be Le Pew. And nobody got it. And I looked at all 20 of them and went, how the fuck do you not know who that is? Did you not have a childhood? And they're like, no, can you please explain to us what Le Pew means? And I'm like, really? He's a skunk. Plain and simple. Like, it kind of describes me to a T. Gets shot down on a regular basis, runs after the same woman to the point where, in his defense, never cries about it, just keeps trying. Yeah. So that pretty much sums me up in, one quick sentence. Goes for a single objective and never stops trying. Ever. Even though he should. Most of the time. So, our theme is alcohol, and I thought to myself, okay, well, I don't really drink. Like, I do, but see, my problem is I have ADHD and Tourette's. Alcohol and ADHD and Tourette's is kind of like someone with hypoglycemia and sugar. Kind of just makes us go, woo, really fast. Am I saying I'm a lightweight? No, I can handle my alcohol. The only problem is I don't need to. 1 or 2 drinks, and I'm like, all right, let's do this. Like, 1 or 2 drinks in and everything's a good idea. I'm 2 drinks in tonight and think I'm fucking hilarious. Like, that's fine by me because my friends never understood that concept. I have friends who have gotten hammered to the point of no return, and it's fantastic because I can have 2 drinks and pretend to be just like them. And everyone believes it. Everybody believes it. To the point where I'm at a party. It's my first high school party. I'm 16 years of age. And a friend of mine invites me to this party, and he's the cat's ass. Everybody at school loves him. He's done some of the dumbest shit we ever knew. I mean, he's the cat's ass. For Halloween, he dressed as an Indian. That's how brave this individual is. I live in Brampton. We'll let you piece the rest of that together. So he says, Adrian, we're going to a party. I was like, sick, I'm in, let's go to this party. And we're there, and we're having a grand old time, like the music's pumping, we're having a ball, and the cops show up. Because, it's in a neighborhood, it's a house party, there's a noise complaint. So everyone's like, shit, what do we do? And I'm just like, I got this. And they're like, no, Adrian, you're too drunk, you can't. I'm like, no, I'm not. I can handle the officers. And it worked out in our favor, and the party lasted another 4 hours, and everyone thought I was plastered, and ironically, so did the officers. At 16 years of age, I blew 3 breathalyzers, passed all 3 of them. And for some strange reason, they thought I needed to go for a ride in the police cruiser. My parents don't even know this story. That's why they weren't invited tonight. So I get to the police station, and they're asking me all these questions, like what was going on, how old are you, blah, 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 blah. Have you been drinking tonight? And I said, no, officer, I have not. And I don't know what possessed me to say my next smart-ass comment, but I did, and I'm proud of it. So he says to me, so, I'm sorry to say, but we have very strong belief that you are somewhat intoxicated. Is there any reason why we shouldn't believe this? And I said, yes, officer, there's one very simple explanation to this. And they went, what? And I went, I'm the designated distraction. Party's over, everyone else went home. You picked the wrong guy. I still see them from time to time and get one of these every so now and then. So alcohol and I get along pretty well because alcohol and I have allowed certain things in my life that I don't want to remember. In certain circumstances, I don't have to. For example, I'm dating this girl. She's fantastic. It's been about 2 years. Shit's gone up, shit's gone down. Like, it's one of those relationships where you just kind of, you feel things are going right, feel things are going wrong. Like, everything that's possibly happened has happened. She's a bit of a freak. My friend is filming this. Sorry, babe. Love you. You're a bit of a freak. So as a joke...
You're breaking up.
Hopefully not. Well, ironically, she wasn't invited to tonight either. So as a joke, she buys me a little present. And I get it, and I'm like, oh, this is, haha, babe, really, really funny. I live with my parents, so thanks for this. And I'll get to the item in a second. Some of you have dirty enough minds where you're already south and you know where this is going. So a couple months go by and I lose said item. And it's somewhere in my parents' house. One day I'm on the phone, we're having an argument. It's something stupid and irrelevant. And it actually has nothing to do with the relationship. We're just having a fight over the phone. She lives in Guelph, I live in Brampton. We're on the phone, we're chatting, and my mom walks in, trying to interrupt our conversation. No, Mom, go away, I'm busy. Adrian, I really need to talk to you. Mom, I'm busy, leave me alone. Adrian, I really need to talk to you. I found something, I don't know what it is. My heart stopped. What did you find? Like, I started diving into the worst possible things my mother could find. I have a knife collection. I play paintball competitively. I have guns hidden all over my room. Like, I have some purchases that they don't know about. So I'm thinking, shit, what did they find I put on my credit card and she's willing to rip my head off for? And my mother's holding a ring. Not that type of ring. For those of you that aren't following, said ring vibrated. And was ironically the same color of my shirt. My mom's holding it in her hands like this, going, Adrian, what is this? And I said, something you shouldn't be holding. So thank God for alcohol, because ironically my mother doesn't remember this story, and the object is now no longer in the house. But see, the best part is it did stay in the house for another 2 months, and I used it to my advantage. When my mother wanted to have a conversation with me, no, I put said ring on the doorknob. I'm busy now, Mom. Let her imagination soar. Did I get judged for that? I still do. My 17-year-old sister was then told this story. My sister dates a black guy. He's sitting at the dining room table. My mother is 3 drinks in and decides to tell my 17-year-old sister she found her brother's ring. What concerned me was she didn't say what type of ring it was, and he knew what we were talking about. Not one of my biggest fans. But he's a nice guy, so I will give him credit. I mean, my sister is the queen of pissing off my parents. Is she dating a black guy because she's pissing off my father? Well, no. He's actually a nice guy. They've been going out for a pretty long time. It's just what puts the cherry on the cake is that my father is a Catholic Italian. Yeah, see, you get it. It's not that they're racist. It's just they immediately assume the worst, always. Like, I could be out with my friends, having a grand old time, and if I call my father at 11:30 at night, he assumes shit's gone down. He's holding his car keys, he's ready to get into the car. Mind you, my father with me had a no questions asked policy. We don't ask questions, we'll deal with it in the morning. That was my father's biggest thing when I was growing up as a kid. Just, whatever you did, I don't care, we'll deal with it in the morning. Well, now my sister's getting to that age where she's waiting for this so-called promise to be given to her. Well, see, that's not the case, because she dates a black guy. My father just waits patiently by the phone with a baseball bat, waiting for shit to go down. But see, what makes me laugh is my father thinks that I'm backup. I'm 6'4" and 165 pounds. I am pretty much the definition of useless in a fight. I could maybe talk people out of it. I've talked myself into some of the worst circumstances possible. I can maybe, make them laugh, do whatever. But when it comes to throwing an actual punch, I'm pretty much gone. I'll wait in the car. I'll start the car, Dad. I mean, I'm at a point where if a fight were to break out right now, I would bust out into some sort of voice or accent just to break up the moment immediately. Like, do we have any Lord of the Rings fans in the house? Yeah. Thank the Lord, because if we didn't, this next joke would make no sense. So I mean, I in high school, I had a couple friends who were a bit of douchebags, and fights were to happen all the time. We used to play tackle football on the field, but we used to play rugby rules, so you just hit each other. It was literally throw the ball and see who would get hit the hardest. Naturally, a fight's gonna break out. So my friends, a fight would break out, and I wouldn't know what to do. Like, believe it or not, in high school, I was 5'5", and 130, 140 pounds. And I would be sitting there going, guys, what do we do? What do we do? Like, they're fighting. Who should we call? We should do something. Like, what's going on? And everyone's like, nah, let it happen. And I panicked and just tried to break up the fight. Little 130-pound me getting into two dudes who were twice my size trying to break up the fight. I looked at them both and go, Wrestling needs to stop being stupid. Everyone froze and turned to me. What the hell did you just do? And I, for some strange reason, went with it. It worked. The fight stopped. I was judged for 4.5 years. I was known as the freak who could speak like the freak. But it worked in my favor. If there was a tense situation in a classroom, teachers hated me. Serious lecture going on. Does anyone have any questions? Can I go home? Fantastic. I have actually made a teacher quit and resort to drugs and alcohol. I kid you not. We went to the school, my best friend and I, 2 years later. Why were we at our whole high school? Why does any 22-year-old go to their old high school? Their ego is down and they want to feel better about themselves. So we go back to our old high school and find out that this teacher has retired. Not for traditional reasons. He was forced into retirement because things got worse. See, the problem is when I was in high school, I went to a school where they introduced an international business program, which basically laptops were the thing and the whole new programs, blah, blah, blah. So if you weren't in the IBT program, you were useless. My friends and I weren't in the IBT program. He taught an IBT course. It was a split class. Half of us would sit there and just twiddle our thumbs because we didn't have laptops to use. We just sit there doing this. And this was an era where we all said, fuck it, and brought Game Boys to class. And we'd be sitting there playing our, screw you all, but I played Pokemon until I was 22 years of age. Thank the Lord there are nerds here. I'd be playing Pokemon and he'd go, Adrian, what's the answer? Don't care, Colin's beating me. Adrian, can you pay attention, please? This battle isn't finished yet. Adrian, can you please answer my next question? To the point where I snapped, fuck off. That got me a 1-week suspension, but totally worth it. Yeah. Just like, standing on stage, making myself look like an absolute fool, doing a bunch of random character voices that thankfully people understood. I mean, it's gotten to the point where I have a really bad habit of not asking if people know. That's really awkward. You're in a group of 30 people and you don't brace them for the next hello. See, some of you are laughing because you feel obligated to, and some of you are looking at me like, what are you trying there? See, what I learned is that when it comes to character voices and accents, you can kind of flip it on a switch and someone will laugh because, you get that pitiful person who, I feel really bad for you, I'm going to laugh at your joke. Which is fantastic because I apparently had friends with all of them. I didn't have a single friend that would tell me I wasn't funny. Then I started dating my girlfriend, which is why she's not allowed at the show tonight. Ask her to laugh at one of my jokes. She looks at me like this. Next. Next. That one was kind of funny. That one was kind of funny. You're not allowed to tell them that. That's a lie and you know it, you shithead. And I got to a point where I'm just like, okay, so what am I going to go on stage and talk about? And she said, well, just go make fun of yourself. And I'm like, so why don't you just come on stage and do it for me? Because she's way better at it than I am. It's gotten to the point where my father, when she walks into the door, he brings out a camera and waits for her to, crack a joke at my dispense. And it's like, whew. We have about, I think, as of now, my mother has 2 iPads, 1 laptop, and an iPhone 4 full of videos, of dinners, of my girlfriend, family members, my family just cracking jokes at my expense. So do I need to write my own material? Notice how I brought my little black book on stage and I haven't flipped the page once? It's literally just jot notes. This story, that story, remember your dad said this, your dad said that. So hopefully I'm set for life. Hopefully I will constantly be in a group of people who think I'm funny, or will at least take pity on the fact that I'm a 22-year-old with ADHD and Tourette's who pretends to drink, plays Pokemon, is a giant nerd, and for some strange reason thinks wearing a bow tie will make him more popular.
Bow ties are cool!
So on that note, hopefully my popularity went up a little bit tonight. Hopefully my YouTube video gets posted properly, because God forbid if my mother knows how to use the internet. And hopefully you guys had a good laugh at my dispense, so thank you very much.